morning. Welcome to our assembly this morning. Welcome to those who've joined us before, and welcome also to those who are joining us for the first time. Each day we're going to have a Bible story, a song and some activities. We hope you enjoy them. We will be online every Tuesday and Thursday at 9:45. We're going to start with a chant. Do make up some actions and do join in. It goes like this. Lock down, think deep, listen up, share why.
To celebrate her Diamond Jubilee, the Queen visited lots of places all around the country. She came to an airfield close to where I live. An orchestra that I played in at the time were asked to perform. My sister was in the parade with the Brownies. There were thousands of people there. I'll never forget it. Everyone was celebrating and eager to even get just one glimpse of the Queen. There were lots of different stalls where you could do fun things like hook a duck, or ones where you could look at how life had changed across the Queen's reign. It was like a massive party with about 20,000 people there. For weeks afterwards, it was all people could talk about. Everyone wanted to know whether or not you had seen the Queen.
For a spot, you're a tiny little drop of God's love. God's love. How cool that I get it all like a mighty waterfall splashing all over me. Don't just get $1 for a spot, you're a tiny little drop of God's love. God's love. How cool that I get it all like a mighty waterfall splashing all over me. I don't get less if I make a mess. I never get less than this very, very best. This love for me is totally free, and nothing I can be will do or earn it. So praise Him with your hands in the air now. Praise Him with dancing feet now. Praise Him with your hands, let's clap now. Praise Him with your whole body in, out. Praise Him with your voice, let's shout, shout. Praise Him, everybody go praise the Lord. I don't just get $1 for a splodge, you're a tiny little drop of God's love. God's love. How cool that I get it all like a mighty waterfall splashing all over me. I don't just get $1 for a splodge, you're a tiny little drop of God's love. God's love. How cool that I get it all like a mighty waterfall splashing all over me. I don't get less if I make a mess. I never get less than His very, very best. His love for me is totally free, and nothing I can be will do or earn it. So praise Him with your hands in the air now. Praise Him with dancing feet now. Praise Him with your hands, let's clap now. Praise Him with your whole body in, out. Praise Him with your voice, let's shout, shout. Praise Him, everybody come praise the Lord. So praise Him with your hands in the air now. Praise Him with dancing feet now. Praise Him with your hands, let's clap now. Praise Him with your whole body in, out. Praise Him with your voice, let's shout, shout. Praise Him, everybody come praise the Lord, the Lord.
Jesus and the tax man, little Zac. Jesus is coming, someone shouted. Jesus is coming to Jericho. Everyone ran to meet him. Well, nearly everybody. But there was one man, one tiny little man, who didn't run to meet Jesus. His name was Zacchaeus. Let's call him Zac. It's not that Zac didn't want to see Jesus. He did. He really wanted to see him. And it's not only that he was really short, he was afraid of the crowd of people. Not many people liked Zacchaeus. This was because he was a tax collector. But not only did he collect the taxes, he collected more money than he was meant to, and he kept lots for himself. So he was quite a bad man. "Jesus is here," someone shouted. "Jesus is here in Jericho." Everyone cheered, and he walked through the city gates. Well, almost everyone. Zacchaeus, he didn't feel like cheering at all. He did want to see Jesus. He really wanted to see Jesus. But how could he walk out there in front of all those people that he'd cheated? What would they do if they got hold of him? Zacchaeus, he had a plan. There were trees by the city gates, tall leafy trees. If he could sneak behind the crowd and climb one of those trees, he could see Jesus for himself. So off he went, out of his house. He went through the empty streets. And because the crowd was watching Jesus, he had no trouble slipping behind them and climbing up the tree. One of the people in the crowd said, "Come and eat at my house." Jesus, because it was a great honour to host someone as important as Jesus. Everyone shouted at once. Well, nearly everybody. But there was one man, one tiny little man. He kept his mouth shut and tried hard not to rustle the branches. "Thank you very much," said Jesus. "That's very kind of you. But I've already decided where I'm going to have my dinner." And you know what Jesus did? He looked straight up into the tree where Zacchaeus was, and he said, Zach, come down. I'm eating at your house today." "Zach?" someone shouted. "Jesus? Eating with Zach? He's the worst man in town." That must be a mistake. And everyone moaned and they groaned. Well, almost everybody, but one tiny little man. He climbed down from the tree. He was as shocked and surprised as the rest of them. Why would someone as good as Jesus want to eat with someone as bad as him? But he was happy too. Happier than he'd been for a long, long time. And so, with a smile spreading across his face, Zach led Jesus to his house. "What are they saying?" someone whispered. "What are they doing in there?" And everyone gathered around the taxman's door. That's when Zach threw open his door with a bang. "Greetings, everyone," he shouted. "I have an announcement to make. I've been talking with my new friend, Jesus. And I realise there's a few things I need to change. I've cheated some of you. I'm sorry about that. I admit that. I want you to know how sorry I am. In fact, I'm so sorry, I'm going to pay you back 4 times what I stole from you. What's more, I intend to sell half of what I own and give the money to the poor." The crowd was so shocked. Never in their whole lives had they seen anyone change like that. They stood there with their mouths wide open. No one said a thing. Well, almost nobody. "Don't you see," said Jesus to the crowd, "God has sent me to share his love with everybody, even those who've done really bad things. That's what I've done, and now Zacchaeus loves God too." That's when the crowd began to cheer. They cheered Jesus, they cheered Zach. Everybody in the town cheered. Wow! Isn't Jesus amazing?
Today we've been thinking about things that we could be sorry for. What we'd like you to do is write down on a piece of paper something that you are sorry for. Then what we'd like you to do is make the piece of paper into a paper aeroplane. Now, there are lots of really good designs on the internet, so you can make really creative and amazing paper airplanes, far more creative than I will be with mine. Okay, now once you have finished your paper aeroplane, what we would like you to do is simply make it fly away. And as you do that, remember that God has forgiven you for everything that you've done wrong, so you no longer need to carry it with you.
Welcome back from Mrs. K. In our story today, we heard how Zach changed when he met Jesus. He then said sorry to everybody, and he showed them he was sorry by paying them back 4 times the amount he'd cheated them. He also changed his behaviour in the future. Try in the coming few days to say sorry to someone for something you've done. Show them you're sorry too. Give them a hug, make them a card, do a job at home to help, and try not to do the same thing again that you've said sorry for. It's not always easy to say sorry and really mean it, but we usually feel better when we do. Have a good week.